Faris the Black Wizard is probably going to become Mashima's greatest antagonist for Fairy Tail at this point. The reason I'm saying this is because with the most recent revelations in chapter 174 of Fairy Tail Hunter's Quest, we might actually get to see Ignia not only have a massively tough fight and really good to showcase his first real fight in the series, but maybe switch the role of main antagonist to somebody else and perhaps help give us answers and further developments for the deeper lore of Fairy Tail that was never fully explored to its fullest in the original series. Not only that, but Faris might be a culmination of all of the antagonistic forces and ideas that we've seen in mainline Fairy Tail brought to life in this series. But before we jump into things, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Also, once I hit 30k subscribers, I'm planning to do a retrospective manga review of not just Fairy Tail's original manga, but also Seven Deadly Sins' original manga. This is stuff I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I feel like once I hit 30k, I feel like that would be the perfect place to jump on. So let's hit that goal and look forward to the retrospectives. Now then, on to the video. So the most recent chapter of 100 Years Quest, chapter 174, it was revealed that the Ration Sex, the 6 demons that Faris created, are also users of black magic like her, and before her, Zeref. Effectively making these 6 demons black wizards or pseudo-black wizards in comparison to Faris. Now when Faris was first introduced, she was introduced as a black wizard because Ignia wanted to start a true Dragon King festival, a battle between dragons and humans, to basically throw the world into chaos and so he can have a world of dragons. But then Faris makes her unlikely surprise appearance, telling us that she is the Black Wizard as she managed to gain the powers of darkness, black magic, and has become the new Black Wizard in Zeref's stead. And not only that, in a clash with Ignia, she reveals that her left arm is Acnologia's left arm. The arm that Ignial, in his last dying breaths, managed to rip off in their initial clash during the Tartarus arc. And Faris took that and made that a part of herself, gaining the strength of Acnologia, essentially making Faris the combination of the two main antagonists of the overall story of mainline Fairy Tail. More so Acnologia, because what we all have to agree on, regardless of how Acnologia is taken out, his presence is still felt in 100 Years Quest, even to this day, to the point of bringing a new antagonist that has his literal left arm. And has taken up Acnologia's thirst for just absolute destruction. But it's what Faris talks about in the most recent chapter of 100 Years Quest that makes me fully believe that Mashima is going to explore more the deeper aspects of the Fairy Tail universe. When she is speaking to Ignia about her demons, her prayers that she calls them, the embodiments of her prayers, she says they were made at the abyss of black magic. Now we've heard this type of phrasing in terms of magic before. Master Hades of Grimoire Heart, aka former second master of the Fairy Tail Guild. In the Tenro Island arc, he discussed the true nature of magic, the true magic world that he wanted to create, and so he formed Grimoire Heart and wanted to find and unlock the powers of Zeref so he can help guide them to what the true essence of magic was, which Hades believed was darkness, was evil, and that's how they worshipped the black magic that Zeref initially mastered and learned and cultivated throughout his life through his research in what we now know is him creating demons that could potentially kill him and end his eternal suffering. But in doing so, he became a black wizard and master of black magic to do so as well. And so that leads us to think that black magic is part of the deeper, true essence of magic in Fairy Tail. And so if Faris created these demons using black magic, the depths of black magic, and are the embodiments of her quote-unquote prayers, then perhaps this will be a gateway for us to fully explore magic in a more in-depth way in Fairy Tail through Faris herself. More or less making her not just a culmination of Acnologia and Zeref in terms of abilities and in terms of motive so far. We still have yet to find a deeper motive, but so far it's destruction. with acnologia, Faris also seems to have knowledge of what Hades wanted to accomplish. The essence of magic, and the depths and the abyss of black magic, which could lead to what the true magic world, the primordial magic that Hades sought to gain. And the Oration Sext are seemingly the process, or at least the result, of her research and her studies into the darkness that is magic in fairy tale. And the Oration Sext are the perfect culmination of the three major antagonistic groups that took up and were in the background for the majority of fairy tale. When it came to the dark guilds of fairy tale, we knew once this whole thing was introduced that the Barham Alliance was the top of the top. The three major dark guilds that seemingly ran everything and had an alliance to help each other out, or at least share information to maintain balance to an extent. There was Oration Sext, Tartaros, and Grimoire Heart. Oration Sext was created by Brain, the man who helped start up the Tower of Heaven project and found the rest of the members of the Oration Sext so they could find the true essence of magic, and also wanted to turn the world upside down with Nirvana. Grimoire Heart, created by Master Hades after his long-standing research into the Lumen Histoire, the Fairy Heart, and wanted to find the true darkest abyss of magic and became obsessed, thus finding more and more lost magic spells, like the Arc of Trees, the Arc of Time, Arc of Embodiment, etc., and thus created Grimoire Heart to reawaken Zeref and find the true magic world that he wanted, their primordial magic that he believed true essence was darkness. And the demon gates of the Tartarus Dark Guild were the 9 demon gates. Demons created by Zeref, wanting to return to Zeref. The only one that knew the true purpose of their creation was Margir, which was to kill Zeref. And the baseline concepts for all three of these dark guilds is culminated into the Oration Sext. We have demons created by a black wizard, 6 members created from prayers, or the embodiments of like prayers being the Oration Sext, and now the Oration Sext with these 6 demons, and being seemingly created by the abyss of black magic that is, to an extent, what Master Hades wanted to look for, to study, and that's why he made Grimoire Heart in the first place. Faris and her demons are the culmination of every single antagonistic force, major antagonistic force, not counting the Spring and 12 obviously, that fairy tale has encountered up to this point, and it feels like Mashima is taking these old ideas, bringing them to a somewhat natural conclusion by bringing all these together to lead us to what might be the biggest lore reveal in fairy tale to date. Because the magic world, the origins of black magic, and even origins of what the true magic world and the abyss of magic is, was never fully explored in fairy tale. It was brought up, it was in the background, it was only brought up here and there, but never fully explored. And by having it brought back up with Faris, having her and her 6 demons be the literal embodiments of the biggest antagonistic forces in fairy tale up until this point, not counting the Spring and 12 and now the Dragon Gods, it just feels like a natural conclusion that Mashima is going for to put all of his ideas together to finally lead us to a proper conclusion, to a proper explanation of what he wanted to do in mainline fairy tale with the lore that he brought up thanks to Hades. And I really do hope that's the case. It feels too perfect not to explore even a little bit. And with the emphasis that Faris has brought into it, and the focus that she's getting, bringing her into the story out of nowhere, yet having it feel somewhat natural, feels like Mashima really does have a plan for this character and her group. Which is why in the current arc of the series, I don't see at least all of the Oration Sext getting taken out. I see them, at least one or two of them getting beat, at minimum. But still, I don't think this will be a wasted effort at the end of the day. To not really use these things to explore the lore a bit more. And something I didn't mention before, but to further allude to this, is the fact that Gates, one of the Oration Sext, the demons that the Oration Sext are currently fighting and is facing Merity one-on-one, gives up the same magical presence and energy as Master Hades, her former master, someone who taught her magic. And so, with that feeling, and with the whole exposition that we got in that latest chapter, it feels more and more likely that everything that Master Hades was planning and even studying to bring into the light and discover is just closer and closer to being revealed in a relatively satisfying way that could just blow the hinges off the entirety of the series, and I really look forward to when that ends up being revealed. I know people are going to say that I'm expecting too much of this, and for all I know, I am. I will admit to that. But all the pieces kind of fit in place almost perfectly for Mashima to explore these ideas a lot more and add a bit more depth to the world of Fairy Tail than we already have, and I just really want to see where this could lead, because I am insanely invested in what's going to happen with Faris and her demons and how that's going to play out and be expanded for the rest of the story, and see what Mashima is going to do with these characters. But let me know in the comments section down below what you think of all this. How do you feel about Faris? How do you feel about the demons? How do you feel about them basically representing every major antagonistic force that we have seen in Fairy Tail up to this point? And do you think we are actually going to potentially see a bit more of an explanation and deep dive into the true essence of magic and the quote-unquote abyss of black magic as well? And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. With all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.